My name is Grace. I use she, her pronouns. Happy Spring Equinox. So spring has sprung, although here in Minnesota, we went from 70 degrees on Friday to what felt like 19 degrees. So who's to say if spring has sprung? But happy spring. So this morning here in Minneapolis, the sun rose at 7:14 a.m. I didn't witness that because I was sleeping, but weather app told me. And then tonight the sun will set at 7:24. And this means that the day and night are nearly equal. So we are at the threshold between the past season of winter and this dawning season of spring. And I love the spring, but I must admit that winter is my favorite season. So there's a sense of loss that I feel with the changing of the seasons. There's so much that I wanted to do this past winter, so much I left undone. I grieve what could have been and what will never be. I grieve the unstoppable passage of time. The sun rises, the sun sets, and each day passes. Here, then gone, the sun rises, the sun sets, and each day passes. I feel helpless in the face of change. There's nothing I can do to slow the wheel of time, to make the beautiful moments last. As Robert Frost knows, nothing gold can stay. He writes, "Nature's first green is gold, her hardest hue to hold. Her early leaf's a flower, but only so an hour. Then leaf subsides to leaf, so Eden sank to grief. So dawn goes down to day, nothing gold can stay." Nothing gold can stay. The changing of the seasons is a complex and simple thing. I resist change, but I also look forward to what comes next, the both and. I love living here in the upper Midwest precisely because we experience such distinct seasons. I am a paradox, simple and complex, aren't we all? So on the spring equinox, I feel grief and I feel excitement. I miss the snow already, and I cannot wait to eat tomatoes from the garden. I miss the skating rink in my neighborhood park. I love the small crocuses that are beginning to emerge from the resting ground. I miss all the candles in my apartment that sparkle in the darkness of nightfall at 4:30 in the afternoon. I love the song of spring peepers that will soon fill the same night as they joyously call to each other. I miss sitting by the wood stove with a good book when I visit my parents. I cannot wait for Chaco season. I love the spring equinox because it gives me reason to pause. I consider what has been and what will be and the what is that rests in between. As I said before, the sun rose at 7:14 this morning here in Minneapolis, and tonight the sun will set around 7:24. The day and night are nearly equal. We pause here at the spring equinox to sit in this fleeting moment of balance. As we consider this delicate moment, I invite you to breathe deeply with me and with all the people gathered here in this physical chapel and virtual chapel. We breathe in and out. Now I invite you to close your eyes as you are able, as you feel called, and to hold out your hands in body or in spirit with your palms up. Clench your hands and gently unfurl your fingers. As you unfurl your fingers, imagine that your right hand holds the day and your left hand holds the night. In your right hand, consider the rising sun, greeting us each day just as it has throughout our lives and the lives of people and creatures and plants and all the mysterious life that has come before us. Consider day and the humming, buzzing, and whirring of life stirring in the palm of your hand. In your left, consider the quiet stillness of night. See the sparkle of stars nestled in your hand and the moon that follows the curve of your fingers. Hear the soft rustlings of the life that moves in the dark, the growth and rest and healing that happens without our knowledge. Feel the weight of day in your right hand and the weight of night in your left. Today, these are in delicate and beautiful balance. Night and day, day and night, complementary and interdependent, opposites but not absolutes. As you consider these opposites, I invite you to take your right hand and place it over your left, uniting these two as if the space between your fingers is a tiny world of its own. Night and day, two parts of a whole. Take a deep breath and gently separate your hands, bringing each back to a position of palms up. Clench and unfurl your fingers. We breathe in. I'm going to ask you again to hold complexities in your palms. In your right, hold the weight of sorrow. In your left, hold joy. Breathe deeply and consider each part as you bring them together as a whole. Complementary and interdependent. Again, gently bring your hands back to the palms up position. Clench and unclench your fists. Unfurl your fingers. In your right hand, hold certainty and what is known. In your left hand, hold the questions and the mysteries. Breathe deeply and unite these parts into a whole, complementary and interdependent. Take a deep breath and gently separate your hands, bringing each back to a position of palms up. And clench and unfurl your fingers. In your right palm, hold what is dying and what is dead. Hold what has been. In your left, hold what is living, what is alive, and what is yet to be. Breathe deeply and unite the parts of the whole. Complementary and interdependent. Take a deep breath and gently separate your hands, bringing each back to a position of palms up. Clench and unfurl your fingers. And now I invite you in the room or on Zoom to share any opposites that we might want to hold in balance together. Apathy and love. In your right hand, hold apathy. In your left, hold love. Breathe deeply and unite the parts into a whole. Complementary and interdependent. Take a deep breath and gently separate your hands. And clench and unfurl your fingers. I again invite you to breathe deeply and bring your hands together in a whole. As you hold this space between, remember that our world is full of opposites, not absolutes. There is a fluidity between the parts of the whole. Our whole selves, our communities as whole, our world as whole. Change is part of the balance. Today is the equinox, which means that spring is here. Roses will open, birds will sing, change will happen. Change is happening. In the day, in the night, in our hearts, in our minds, in all of our complexities. And each morning, the sun will rise and the sun will set, and we will rise and we will rest. Now, Emily McKown will close with a song. with hearts and bodies and souls full of all the complexities. May you go into this new season grounded and open. Go in peace.